I've always wondered what would have happened if Naruto had some kind of assistance to his life to make his life a little better. Some kind of power outside of the QB which would not make his life a living hell in his childhood. What would happen if Naruto had some kind of dojutsu that was even greater than the Sharingan? And to answer all of your questions and even mine, which I have always wondered, we'll be discovering what would happen if Naruto had the tenseigan in this video. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video and also check out my any other videos that you would be interested in. So yeah, without any delay, let's begin the video. So we start this what if off with a chilly night in the Hidden Leaf. Everything was going just according to the plan. Kushina was giving birth, Minato was holding off the seal, and Biwako, the wife of the third Hokage and also a great magic ninja, was there to make sure the childbirth went safely. But this happy moment, at least what it was supposed to be, was disturbed by a madman. And that was none other than Minato's old student, Obito, who had been so desperate that after Rain's death, he had been broken into pieces. No wonder why, because Obito was ostracized by the Uchiha, and then the only one that had ever respected him in his life, his childhood crush, had died by the hand of his best friend. It was obvious why it turned out that way. But right now, Obito captured Naruto as he did in canon, and then Minato fought Obito. Then pretty much everything went the same as canon. Minato and Kushina sacrificed their life in order to save Naruto, and Naruto gets the power of the QB inside of him. That's the first thing that happens. Now, as opposed to how Naruto will get the tenseigan, well, it's pretty simple. Naruto is already the reincarnation of Asura, and that means all Naruto really needs is a Hyuga DNA or the chakra of Hamira, which, for the sake of plot convenience, I'll just say that Hamira just gave Naruto his chakra in some shape or form so that he could unlock the tenseigan. So we're gonna assume that Naruto has Omura's chakra, and that mixing with Asura's chakra should be able to give Naruto the Tenseigan. So when Naruto would grow up, yeah, of course Hiruzen would be there for him in some say way, shape or form, and he would give him his rent. But Naruto, for the most part, would be lonely. His life would not be good. But when Naruto would cry, he would notice that his eyes would change sometime, changing into a golden, reddish kind of power that Naruto could see. And whenever these eyes did change and Naruto would see them in the mirror, he could see through walls and he could see miles away. Not only that, whenever this power came onto Naruto, oranges kind of glow always surrounded him. Even if it was a miniature amount of it, it did surround him. Naruto was curious. What was this power? But he didn't care. He was so downgraded by the villagers that all he wanted to do was accept. All he wanted to do was for them to accept him. His eyes were still blue because, well, he could turn off and on the Tenseigan. Tenseigan would turn on when Naruto was or his emotions were extremely heightened. Naruto would enter the academy, but this time things would not be as simple as they were in canon. Naruto would not be the dead last because, well, his Tenseigan, which would be activated in a really minuscule amount, to the amount that it could pretty much not be noticed, Naruto would grasp the concepts that Yuriko would teach them. He would grasp everything about the ninjutsu. His IQ would be much higher since, the dojutsu does allow you to process things a little faster in your brain. So all of that, Naruto would also have a basic mastery of the five elemental chakra natures, since all the users of the Tenseigan do have that kind of power. And then Naruto would pass the academy. He wouldn't need to do any kind of dirty doings for Mizuki in order to pass. His chakra control is good enough to perform a clone jutsu because of the tenseigan. It provides him sort of a chakra control. And then Naruto would be placed in the same team as Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. The introduction would pretty much go the same. Naruto would say that he wants to become the Hokage. Sasuke would say that he wants to kill Itachi, and well, Sakura. Yeah, Sakura. About that, yeah, I'm pretty sure you all already know what he said. So let's not get deep into that. Kakashi would say to them all that they would do a bell test, and only 66 chance of a failure was there in this test. So yeah, that would be that. Soon the team would show up, but things would be a little different this time. Sasuke would respect Naruto a little since Naruto was on par with him at the academy, as Naruto saw how lonely Sasuke was, and Sasuke saw how lonely Naruto was in their life, and they both understand each other in some degree. So Naruto and Sasuke, along with Sakura, would decide to work together to get the belts after they noticed that they could not get the belts by themselves. Naruto Sasuke would be the force that would be carrying this mainly, as it's pretty obvious what would have happened. Kakashi would not be defeated, or nor neither would he let the belts be taken away from him, but he would pass the team anyways because they have worked together. After that, all the missions that they went, the D rank missions would go same. Nothing would change over there. And then we come to the part of Land of Waves arc. Tazuna would come in and asking for a team for a C rank mission. The team would be provided with a C rank mission, and they would go to the C rank mission. Naruto and Sasuke are well strong enough to take on the Demon Brothers, as of all literally guys, that Naruto is strong enough as he's on par with Sasuke at this point of story. And then they would take care of the Demon Brothers by themselves, and Kakashi would eventually show up to do the cleaning work. And then we come to the part where the Demon of the Mist attacks the team. This would pretty much go the same. Naruto and Sasuke would use the teamwork in order to free Kakashi from the water prison, and Kakashi, using his Sharingan, would defeat Zabuza. Zabuza would be taken away by Haku, and that would be, the end of at least the first half of the wave mission. They would get to Tazuna's home and rest for a while, especially Kakashi, since he overused the Sharingan. Soon, Iner would throw his tantrum, but no one would respond this time. Not even Naruto, since he's too tired to respond. Naruto would get down the chakra control exercise that Kakashi would have him, since the tenseigan does allow him again chakra control at a very good level. So Naruto would get down the basics of the chakra control very quickly. It would help Sasuke a little, since Naruto and Sasuke do have a little bit more of a deeper bond than they had in canon. Soon, the time for the bridge building would come, and Zabuza would attack Kakashi, and Naruto and Sasuke would eventually start fighting Haku. And this is where things start to change. When Sasuke takes the blows for Naruto, this time when Naruto actually does get cradle Sasuke in his arms and says him to wake up, and notice that Sasuke is not waking up and thinks that Sasuke is dead. Orange glow would surround him as Truth Seeker's orbs would pop behind Naruto's back, and his tenseigan would awaken in his full glory. Naruto had now entered the tenseigan chakra mode, and with this power, he would easily defeat Haku with just his base speed and attack speed and all of that. Naruto still cannot use any of the six paths abilities. If you guys didn't know, Tenseigan does allow you to use the six path Senjutsu and all that stuff. Again, Naruto would defeat Haku and would even kill him because Naruto does not have full control over this power, and this power would be too much for Haku. With only one blow, Naruto would be able to finish Haku off, and then Kakashi would end up killing Zabuza, and that would be the end of those two. And then Gato's thugs do come in, and then Naruto, who is enraged at this point with the power of the Kyuubi mixed in with the power of his tenseigan, he would slaughter all the ninjas that were there. I mean, the thugs that were there and the bandits. Kakashi would also step in since he was noticing that Naruto was, completely enraged and was not thinking straight. Then afterwards, they would be shocked to see, Naruto's incredible power and the time that he had. Kakashi would eventually deduce that Naruto had some kind of special dojutsu, and that was the reason that he was able to awaken this power. Naruto would then come clean to Kakashi that he had this power since he was a kid, but he could never control it. He would say that he could see through walls and then see people's chakra points and stuff. And then also that this orange glow, strange, that was surround him, gave him a strange chakra boost and an insane boost in stats. Kakashi would wonder what kind of new dojutsu this was. It was similar to the Byakugan in many ways. He would even say it surpassed the Byakugan in his visual prowess, but he was not sure. They would eventually go back to the village and the bridge would be named the Great Naruto Bridge. Would eventually return back to the village and the bridge would be named the Great Naruto Bridge. Kakashi would tell Hiruzen what happened in the bridge and about Naruto's powers, which Hiruzen would be really curious about, as he would have someone in mind to train Naruto about his powers. And you already guessed it, it is Jiraiya. And Hiruzen would eventually call Jiraiya to the village, telling him, that his godson has awakened this strange ass power. Yes, Jiraiya would be curious, but first Naruto needs to pass the tuning exams round. Again, for the first round, I really don't want to go over it. Naruto has the tenseigan so he can see through things, and he eventually passes the rounds pretty easily. As for the second round, this is where things start getting a little confusing. I'm not sure if Orochimaru would go after Naruto or Sasuke in this case. Naruto has a really cool dojutsu, a new one, something that is unknown to the humankind. Orochimaru would take interest in that, but he also needs the Sharingan. So I think Orochimaru would eventually choose both of them. He would, kind of mix his curse seal power in both of them. But what would have happened is the curse seal power would be ripped off of Naruto by the help of the Kyuubi. The curse seal would simply not be stable, and Kyuubi would eventually end up getting rid of the curse seal power. Sasuke, on the other hand, would wake up and sort of wake up and do what he did in canon. Naruto seal in the would be messed with because of Orochimaru, and he would not wake up till many days. They would eventually get to the tower as they did in canon, and then they would fight pretty much whoever they did in canon as well. Evil sealing method would be placed on Sasuke's curse mark to suppress it after his battle with Yoru, and then Naruto would fight Kiba, and it is a pretty one-sided stomp. Naruto, with the use of his tenseigan, would eventually overwhelm Kiba with his shadow clones as well, and that would be the end of it. And then we go to the final rounds of the tuning exams, or the training before the final rounds of the tuning exams. Here is where Naruto does meet Jiraiya, and he tells Jiraiya about his new strange power by activating his tenseigan. At least that is what Kakashi had taught him how to at least activate his tenseigan. Jiraiya would be really curious about this power since he knows that Naruto is the son of Minato, and thinks that Minato and or Kushina had this kind of power, so how the hell did Naruto get it? But then he eventually ignores it, and he would train Naruto in the summoning jutsu, which Naruto would master pretty quickly, since he's a prodigy pretty much because of the Tenseigan. Gamabunta would, not be willing to take Naruto at first, but with the sheer determination that Naruto showed him, and everything goes pretty much same as the canon, he would eventually accept Naruto as his summoner. After the summoning jutsu training is done, Jiraiya would train Naruto on how to control his Tenseigan power and also the Kyuubi chakra. And then eventually they would notice that Naruto is much stronger than he's in canon. His battle with the Neji would occur as Naruto would dominate Neji completely, as he would use the same move that Neji used on him trying to, at least, block his chakra points. In this case, in which Naruto does know how to use the tenseigan chakra mode because of Jiraiya's training in this 1 month. When Neji does block his chakra points, Naruto will simply activate his tenseigan at that point and just open his chakra points by the help of the tenseigan chakra mode. By doing that, Naruto would start beating Neji down pretty easily, and then by using the same technique that Neji used on him, Naruto would close up Neji's chakra points and then defeat him swiftly. Same thing happens as a Kaden. Gaara does lose to Sasuke, and then the invasion occurs. Hiruzen and Orochimaru start battling Naruto, and Sasuke start battling Gaara. In this case, Naruto and Sasuke would overwhelm Gaara till the point where he enters his tail beast mode. With Gaara going to sleep. Naruto would summon Gamabunta as he did in canon and would beat Gaara up without having to sustain much of injuries because of his Tenseigan chakra mode and the speed boosts and all that stuff he gets because of it. Naruto would eventually convince Gaara that if he needs a friend, Naruto is there for him and talk no jutsu Gaara and make him a good guy eventually. The village would be in a really dark place since the death of the third Hokage. The elders would ask Jiraiya to become the Hokage, and Jiraiya would decline it. And then he would say that there's someone better than him, and of course that is Tsunade. He and Naruto would go to find Tsunade, and the Tsunade retrieval arc would happen pretty much the same as it in canon. Naruto would learn the Rasengan during this period, and yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And then we go to the Sasuke retrieval arc, in which pretty much everything happens as it did in canon, but this time when Naruto and Sasuke do fight, the fight is one-sided as Naruto, with the help of the QB chakra mode, mixing with his Tenseigan chakra mode, would be too much for Sasuke to handle, and Naruto would beat Sasuke down and eventually bring him back to the village. As that would happen, as soon as Naruto would bring Sasuke back to the village, he would leave the training to train with Jiraiya. But Kabuto would infiltrate the village and break Sasuke out of the prison, and they would go to Orochimaru. After the 3-year training time skip does happen, Naruto, comes back to the village. He eventually tells Tsunade tells Kakashi to test Naruto and Sakura, but Jiraiya flat out denies it, saying that that Naruto is stronger than Kakashi, and Naruto is on his level, if not on his level, stronger than even Jiraiya himself, which would surprise Tsunade, seeing how strong Naruto has gotten. Since that would have happened, they would go on a Kazekai's retrieval arc, or the retrieval mission, where they would see Gaara's dead body. Naruto would get enraged, entering his Tenseigan chakra mode this time due to the training, 3-year training. Naruto would get all of the abilities of the Rinnegan, since Jiraiya would recognize that the abilities that Naruto had shown in his Tenseigan were pretty similar to the abilities that Nagato had shown in the Rinnegan. So he would tell Naruto about all the abilities that he knew of Nagato, and then that would occur. Soon Naruto would overrun Deidara, since Tenseigan users can fly as well. Naruto would fly towards Deidara. By using his Truth Seeker orbs, he would overwhelm Deidara and kill him eventually. Kakashi would not even need to use his Mangekyo Sharingan, as then he would not be bedridden. And this is a huge feat since Kakashi is much stronger than Yamato, if you guys do not know about that. Sasori would end up telling Chiyo and Sakura about Sasuke's location, which would happen the second Sasuke retrieval arc, the Tensei Bridge arc, in which Naruto, when he confronts Orochimaru, would in which Naruto, when he just confront Orochimaru, Naruto would maintain his cool, but he would enter the Tenseigan chakra mode pretty quickly and start beating down Orochimaru. As Jiraiya already had mentioned in the beginning of this arcs, the beginning of the time skip that Naruto is on his level or stronger than him. Orochimaru without his arms is not on Jiraiya's level. Sorry for all the Orochimaru's fans, but Orochimaru would get overwhelmed by Naruto, and Orochimaru realized that if he continues to fight the boy, he will die. So he retreats, but Naruto, with the help of his tenseigan, could see where Orochimaru was going and would simply follow him. Once that would have happened, Naruto would find Sasuke, him, and then they both would start battling. Naruto, of course, being the stronger one among the two, Sasuke using all of his power to fend off Naruto or try to defeat him, but it would not work out. Naruto would defeat Sasuke and they would bring him back to the village. Orochimaru would try to resist this, but he would fear his life too much, even for a vessel like Sasuke, so he would end up escaping Naruto's grasp and Kakashi's grasp too. As I said, Kakashi did not used to use his Mangekyo, so he would be on the mission too. So after that would have happened, we come to Deidara and Kakazu arc. uh, not Daedra, Kakazu and Hidan arc, in which Asuma does die, unfortunately, and Naruto's Rasen Shuriken training does occur as it did in canon, but in this case, Naruto masters it much quicker, and then he comes to the bow with Kakashi and Team 9 to assist them. Naruto, with the help of Kakashi, would be more than enough to take care of Kakazu and Hidan, and then they eventually just go on without even need of Naruto using the Rasen Shuriken to defeat Kakazu in the end. Eventually, the pain arc would come, in which Jiraiya would unfortunately die. Naruto would be enraged by this, and then the third sage would offer him to give him sage more training, which Naruto would accept. By doing that, when the pain does invade the village, Otobi in this case, which he takes the chance of freeing Sasuke from the prison, and then by freeing Sasuke from this prison, and he tells him the truth about Itachi, since Itachi has already died because of his illness. He cannot sustain his body any longer, and Itachi has died. Sasuke's truth will change his perspective on the village, and he wants to destroy the village as he did in canon. Soon, Naruto would enter the battlefield along with Pain, and he would, since Naruto knows pretty much all the abilities of Pain, he would not really have much of trouble, since he has pretty much all the same ability that Pain has. So Naruto would eventually end up defeating Pain, since he's much more stronger than Pain right now. With the help of Tenseigan Chakra Mode and Senjutsu, combining those two is just overkill for Pain. So eventually that would have happened, and then we would come to the part where Toby would announce the Third Great Ninja War on the world within the Five Kage Summit. Once that would have happened, Naruto and Sasuke confrontation would go as it did in canon. Naruto and Sasuke would rush each other with Rasengan and Chidori, but this time, instead of saying Naruto saying that, we both will die, thinking that him and Sasuke are equal. He would say, Sasuke, if you go any further than this, you will fucking die. And Sasuke would take offense to that, of course, and then he would urge Toby to give him Itachi's eyes and unlock the internal Mangekyo Sharingan. Everything would be pretty much go as the same as the canon. Naruto would go to completely master the Kyuubi chakra. He would meet his mother, and the entire story of the Nine Tails would be told to Naruto. He would. I forgot to mention that Naruto would not meet his father during the pain arc, but eventually he would meet his father along with his mother at the same time. So that would be pretty much a wholesome family reunion. So that's good. Eventually, Naruto would end up mastering the Kyuubi's power, this time with the help of Minato and Kushina both, but he is strong enough himself to defeat Kurama. Kurama would give Naruto his KCM1 power without doing much of a struggling with him. Eventually, Naruto would get the KCM1 power and then would go out to the battlefield. A would try to stop Naruto, but Naruto is too fast with this combining his KCM and tenseigan chakra mode. He is much faster than A could ever imagine to be, so Naruto would eventually get past A pretty easily too. So after that would have happened, Naruto would enter the battlefield. He would destroy all the black Zetsus, white Zetsus along this way. Eventually, they would end up confronting Itachi and Nagato, and this battle would be pretty much one-sided as Naruto is much stronger than as he was in canon. Naruto would end up defeating Nagato, and Itachi would use the same crow that he gave to Naruto as he did in canon to cast the Kodo Amatsukami on himself. He would go after Kabuto as Sasuke would eventually end up confronting Itachi, and they both would start fighting Kabuto. Meanwhile, Madara would have been reanimated and would have wreaked havoc on the battlefield. Nothing would have changed in Madara's part. Toby and Naruto would eventually start confronting each other, and Naruto, this time being on the offense mainly. Toby, with the power of his six-tailed beast, would start overwhelming both Naruto and Killer Bee, but eventually Naruto, while mastering the power of Kurama, and entering his tail beast mode while combining it with his Tenseigan chakra mode, would be more than enough to take care of Toby and his six-tailed beast. Naruto would crack Toby's mask because his speed is more than enough to do that. He is as fast as what Minato was while using Flying Raijin. Now Naruto would be so fast that Toby would not be able to keep up with his speed at all, and Naruto would eventually end up breaking his mask. After that would have happened, Edo Tensei Madara would eventually enter the battle after defeating the 5 Kage. Naruto and Edo Tensei Madara would enter a deep, intense battle as Killer Bee and Kakashi start uh, going after Obito. They would occupy Obito while Naruto and Edo Tensei Madara enter a deep, intense battle. In this battle, Madara would notice that Naruto is much stronger than what he had imagined, and even his giving him a little tough time. But this excites Madara as he sees that the truth seeker are behind Naruto and the boy is not using them at all. Madara, being a battle-thirsty guy that he is, he wants a good challenge, so he would say to Naruto how those truth seeker orbs work. Naruto would eventually start getting grasp of it and would start using them in battle and start defeating Madara. This would be Madara's downfall of teaching Naruto how to use the Truth Seeker orbs due to his battle lust, and since the Truth Seeker orbs, if they make contact with a reanimation, they end up destroying the reanimation completely inside out. So Madara would be destroyed since, taking any hits from Naruto is a bad sign from him. So eventually Madara would be completely destroyed, but Obito, on the other hand, would become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, aka Jubito. Sasuke would come to the battlefield with the other 4 Hokage, and with the help of Hashirama, Minato, KCM2 Minato, and Sasuke, they all would defeat Jubito. Since that would have happened, everything would go peacefully. The last would have happened. Sorry, Toneri, but in this case, you're getting your cheeks clapped. Naruto is too strong. You would have Naruto would then end up marrying Hinata as he did in canon. Kinshiki and Momoshiki, when they show up, they're completely outclassed uh, by Naruto, Sasuke, and many others. Kakashi retains a Sharingan, so he's much stronger as he was in canon as well. So he does somewhat end up helping in the Otsutsuki kind of thing as well. So once that happens, the only trouble that Naruto eventually faces off is Ishiki. After many here and there, we always have Baryon mode to rely on, and I do think that Naruto would require Baryon mode in order to defeat Ishiki at all costs. There is no other way, even with the Tenseigan power boost. Naruto is not defeating Ishiki. The power gap is too much. Naruto would use Baryon mode, and I guess bye bye Kurama. We will miss you forever. And then soon that would happen. Naruto would be nerfed as he was in canon, but not as nerfed as he was in canon. Also, because he has the Tenseigan, so he's not as weak as he's in canon. He's at least enough to, take out Code in this case, since he has the tenseigan shock mode. So I do think that Naruto is as strong as he was in the canon before he lost his power. I do think Naruto is as strong as he was in his prime at this, even after losing all the power that he had from Kurama. I do think that Tenseigan would give him Naruto at least that much of a power boost. So yeah, that would pretty much be it. Yeah, you guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. It was a short one part, one shot kind of series, and hopefully you guys liked it. Yeah, and hopefully you guys liked it, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you did and like the video. It helps us out a ton, as to make these videos and inspire us to make these videos on a daily basis. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and keep on smiling. Peace, you guys. See you in the next video.